Hi, it's the counter press again, and it's a reaction, tactical post-match analysis of how Manchester City totally dropped Real Madrid in the second leg semi-final at the Etihad. So, thank you very much for choosing the counter press. Do like, subscribe, and share. We'll be grateful to hear from you in the comment section. Also, the description below will have the Fiifi-Manfred link group. Then you join in. Let's discuss football. Let's get to it. So, yesterday, internationally, Milan had done what I had predicted that they would do. They're not unthinkable, but then we really do what we expected them to do. Play good football, defensively, be very, very resolute in the middle of the park and stack it up and get a job done. I mean, it was a total central blockage clinic from Simeone Inzaghi. And I think that for Internazionale Milan, it's only right that we give a lot of props to Beppe Marotta, to Simeone Inzaghi himself. I think that's for a manager who could have stayed at Lazio and would have been celebrated so much. He took up a very good challenge, has won the Supercoppa d'Italia, is in the Coppa Italia final, and of course in the Champions League final in just well over 2 years, especially after losing out on Lukaku the first season, losing out on Ashraf Hakimi, losing out on Ivan Perisic later, and then the fact that Inter were not willing. That is where Beppe Marotta came in and did a wonderful job in bringing in Henrik Mkhitaryan, bringing in Hakan Çalhanoğlu, bringing in Edin Dzeko, bringing in Federico Acerbi, and all of these players have been very important. Of course, let us also not forget the Cameroonian goalkeeper Andre Onana, who has been brilliant, proper ball playing goalie, and did an outstanding job for Internazionale Milan. So congrats to them. Now, to the bigger one. Man City had gone to the Etihad in a very, very difficult game for themselves and Real Madrid. For me, I've really been someone who has been very, very critical of the rhetorics that Real Madrid are too much experience and you can't beat them and have 9 lives and what have you. Going into this game, I really did expect the Man City to get a job done, and this is a tactical analysis. So Pep went into this game in the regular 4-3-3, and you can call it a variation 4-2-3-1 if you want. But in that back line, apart from Ederson, Kyle Walker was in his favorite right back position. That's where he started nominally. There is Diaz and John Stones as 2 pairs of centre back. Then, of course, Manuel Akanji. But really, on the ball, it was a 3-4-3 for Pep Guardiola. He had that box midfield because we know that every time John Stones was going to join Rodri in the middle of the park to play as a hybrid CB and CM, whilst right in front of them, there was going to be Kai Gundogan, and then, of course, Kevin De Bruyne forming that box of midfield. The need for that is that in the first phase of progression, it was going to be the 3 centre backs in that phase. When you add Ederson to it, it becomes even extra 4. Then there is the 2 midfielders to receive in the first 9 in Rodri and John Stones. Rodri and John Stones are both very comfortable on the ball, very good with the ball, take a turn and then play forward, and are also very vertical. Whilst up top in the left and right half spaces, there was Ike Gundogan and Kevin De Bruyne. Beautiful setup from the first blast of the whistle in that area. But whilst Pep did this, there was also hinged on the positional play that he so loves, where Bernardo Silva stuck it over there, and then same for Riyad Mahrez. You see, what Pep did in this game was very, very important. And in a game state of football, one of the things that you do so well if you want to win every game is to exert as much control as you want in a game state. And when you do this, what you seek to do is that you eliminate any uncertainties, any probabilities, any 50-50s, anything that you can't control, you eliminate that. And that's exactly what Guardiola did. He exerted the most control that you'd want in this game in that box midfield. There was so much control in the rest defense that anytime that Man City were in the ball and were high and wide, Kyle Walker was asked to be very, very much defensively disciplined, and he did just that. Never pushed up. There was that rest 3-man defense at the back. in John Stones, in Ruben Diaz, in Akonji, and then of course Kyle Walker, waiting for the turnovers from Real Madrid because there were going to be a few. Also, wonderful control in Bernardo Silva from out wide. The fact is that once Bernardo is on the ball, he is able to hold the ball with his nimble feet and what have you, cut inside, and then make sure that John Stones at him, whether underlapping or overlapping, because like I said earlier, Kyle Walker had sat back, so he wasn't doing any overlapping and underlapping runs. On the other side, it was Kevin De Bruyne marauding the left and right half spaces together with Ike Gundogan. So in the box for them, it was Gundogan, it was Kevin De Bruyne. De Bruyne was usually on crossing duties, but Gundogan, Kevin De Bruyne, Erling Haaland, and then Jack Grealish always in the box whilst the crosses were coming in. And if you realize, they targeted the back post a lot of the time when they were playing against Real Madrid. So it was total tactical control. If you look at the game, especially in the first few minutes of the first half, City had large parts of the ball. They were never in any rush. They were very patient on the ball, string the passes together because they knew they were going to get the openings, and they did exactly when Bernardo Silva made that dart and run, and then the ball came to him. They were patient because they know that they have a base where they can protect themselves, and once they lose the ball, there's a base that can bring the ball back to them. Whilst they did this, they also knew that the all-important thing was that they need to find the time and space, the right ones at the right time to send those line-breaking passes, and that's exactly what they did. And for me, if you look at tactically throughout this game, I think that Pep had controlled the game even last season, also very good against Real Madrid. They were just unlucky. This season again, he has exerted too much control and he has gotten the job done. Tactically, it was because Pep has the right tool for the right job. Technically very gifted players in those left and right half spaces. Also technically outstanding players to receive and turn and play forward. John Stones, Rodri, beautiful in that regard. And of course, also at the back, center backs that can defend their box with their bodies. Also center backs that can play forward. Also center backs who are good enough with pace to win 1v1 and aerial duels as well. So that is it for Pep Guardiola. His team was solid, beautiful, outstanding, and I think it sets a pace. It sets the precedent, and then of course the tone actually for the final against Internazionale Milan in Istanbul. It's going to be an Italy versus English final, one that is going to be mouth-watering. So Pep likes to dominate. Inter likes to centrally congest. That's 3-5-2 that can shuffle to be a 4-4-2 when Inter, the ball goes out wide. When Dumfries is becoming very aggressive, these are going to be the questions that Pep will have to ask. How does he deal with Inter's overloads in the middle of the park? The 5-man midfield when Klanoglu, Mkhitaryan, Barella are in the flat midfield three, and either of Edin Dzeko drops into the middle, and then of course Denzel Dumfries also drops. Mind you, how is that going to be done? How are they going to deal with the build-up of Internazionale Milan when Denzel Dumfries takes up a winger role? Then it's a seemingly back four of Damien Acerbi, Di Marco, and then Daniel Acerbi, Di Marco, and Daniel Acerbi, Bastoni, and Di Marco in that side. How are they going to deal with that? Also, there are going to be different problems for Man City to encounter this time. This time, there's going to be a hold-up player, whether in Edin Dzeko, one of the best that you can get, and of course Lautaro Martinez, who holds and controls the ball in this left and right half spaces. He receives the ball so well, turns well, and bring other players into play as well. The two goalkeepers are going to be also very, very integral in any way that they play. Andre Onana, and then of course Ederson Morales is going to be in there. So it's a poised final. The tone has been set. Kudos to Manchester City. Kudos to Internazionale Milan. Both teams deserve. On 17th of June, we'll preview that in the next few days. But yes, as it stands now, it's a beautiful game of football that we've seen. My name again still remains Fiifi-Manfred. Counter Press. See you later. Bye.